Gambling and sugary drinks. Those are the vices Rachel Reeves is planning to tax later this year. But adding extra levies may not result in more revenue the Chancellor so craves. Reports have suggested that increasing taxes could raise around £3 billion, and former Prime Minister Gordon Brown has said those funds should be used to pay for child benefits. Economists in the city and at top think tanks anyway believe that Rachel Reeves will have to raise at least £20 billion in taxes to plug a fiscal hole, created by lower growth forecasts, higher debt interest payments, and higher welfare spending. But increasing sin taxes may not be the way to go for the Chancellor. In a report published in July, the Office for Budget Responsibility, which judges the costs and benefits of all government policies, said forecasts for the intake from these taxes in the past were overestimates in previous reports. And so, errors in forecasting for sin taxes could see it make more moderate projections at this year's autumn budget. And separate analysis by the Scotch Whisky Association has shown that the Treasury collected £676 million less tax than the OBR forecast for spirits duties in March 2023. This points to the significance which forecasting errors could have on public finances, which could lead to more government borrowing than hoped for. Tax experts said government revenue forecasters often struggle to measure behavioural changes when excise duties are changed. They said this tendency meant tax revenue from sin taxes would often be overestimates. The Scotch Whisky Association's chief executive Mark Kent has meanwhile argued that the Treasury and OBR were not taking the positive revenue impacts of reducing duties. Kent said fresh tax data showing a 10% fall in revenue from spirits taxes over the last year suggested the government would be left with further problems in the coming years. And were the government to cut duties on spirits and other products, industry bosses argue the government could boost economic growth and therefore benefit from a higher tax intake. The Scotch Whisky Association called on the government to fix its unequal alcohol duty system and listen to the on-the-ground concerns of businesses who have had to deal with tax. For more news on taxes, head over to citym.com.